Caitlin Clark just did something that no athlete has done since Michael.
Do you recall when the name of Michael Jordan was sufficient to quickly sell out of any goods? Caitlin Clark, a sensation, now enters, who is causing a stir in the basketball world and causing anxiety among WNBA veterans. They perspire due to more than just the heat. Caitlin's most recent agreement reflects MJ's renowned influence with her, extraordinary ability, and growing impact. She is turning into a formidable force, demonstrating that the current period of she may be the owner of the basketball.
He's like Wayne Gretzky, Michael Jordan, probably eventually Caitlin Clark, where it's like individual people make an entire country tune into their sport.
1,000%.
Like hockey was never bigger than when Wayne Gretzky was playing it, and it was ridiculous how much it grew the sport.
Tiger Woods.
Caitlin Clark does more than simply advertise products. She's moving the very basketball culture. Her revolutionary collaboration with a billion-dollar company has the whole sports community a commotion departing. Some seasoned player sentiments eclipse this isn't just an sponsorship agreement, it's the most important basketball partnership because a young North Carolina talent created a stir with the famous swoosh. Sneaker culture, which is always evolving, now the focus is on Clark, who is not just controlling the court but is also taking over the corporate world. Stay tuned, as we'll wrap up with some motivational remarks from Jordan and disclose a basketball statistic that connects him and Clark. Are you prepared to jump right in?
She's incredible. Congratulations to her and her family.
Yeah.
The crazy thing is I'm just seeing her last year when they played LSU, but she's phenomenal.
Let's include this into Wilson's point of view in the official game. Basketball provider for the WNBA and NBA. Caitlin Clark is now the first female athlete to start her own iconic basketball collection since Michael Jordan. You can almost hear gritting her teeth, Cheryl Swoops. This information is noteworthy since Swoops has been talking more about Clark than her own outstanding career recently, emphasizing Caitlin's name is now Caitlin's growing star, is being inscribed next to MJ's in the Hall of Fame for marketing. These aren't typical basketballs from a gym class, have elegant patterns in gold and white, accompanied by laser-etched designs that honor Clark's most important professional accomplishments, including the threes-up ball honors her. The shooting range for the courageous record breaker demonstrates her supremacy on the crowd maestro, and the stat sheet celebrates her capacity to transform any venue into a memorable encounter similar to a concert by Beyoncé. That Caitlin is reinventing what becoming a superstar implies in athletics.
The first athlete since Michael Jordan to get their own signature basketball from Wilson. She also becomes the first WNBA player to get her own signature basketball from
Wilson was unable to meet the demand. Tens of thousands of signatures from Clark. In less than 40 minutes, basketball sold out. Shorter period of time than Asia. Wilson needs to create a mysterious tweet. This wasn't merely a soft launch, was a phenomena in culture, similar to the enthusiasm around an launching of the iPhone or a Travis Scott cooperation. Just when you believed the Clark momentum couldn't increase much farther, introduced a new collection, collaborating with a significant, you heard correctly, grocery chain. Caitlin Clark is becoming as good as a shoe. Supermarket sellouts. Her influence is rising to previously unheard of heights, establishing a connection between athletics and daily existence.
Calling all Caitlin Clark fans, 2 new limited edition basketballs are now available at select Hy-Vee stores. The designs are part of the Inspire series that Clark is doing in partnership with Wilson Sporting Goods. The tribute ball pays homage to Clark's time with the Iowa women's basketball team, and the Dreamer ball is designed to encourage athletes to pursue their dreams. Both are available in sizes 3 and 6 at select Hy-Vee.
Leader of the worldwide Caitlin brand Amanda Lamb made it apparent. Clark is more than just a record keeper, athlete, but a symbol of culture. Translation: she is more than simply a player. She is the Wilson is placing his stake on the player because she will lead their women's basketball brand going forward. This is not a short-term marketing. It symbolizes a thorough change in brand. The face of Caitlin is now the new face of the game, indicating a revolutionary moment for basketball for women and reaching new heights in the sport.
When you take into stock the fact that outside of Kevin Durant, aging superstar, LeBron James, 40 years old, and Steph Curry, there's not a single NBA player more popular today than Caitlin Clark. That is a problem.
The repercussions of the success of Caitlin Clark is having an impact across the league. This type of a calculated action is changing the opportunities for female athletes. Clark is more than just making money. She is challenging the conventional, tension-causing endorsement playbook in the league's locker rooms, as some of the majority of outspoken detractors find themselves ignored without endorsements. Let's now look at the numbers, as they are more powerful than any. Caitlin Clark's WNBA games are tweeted by detractors had 1.18 million views on average, which is 3 times the average for the league. Isn't just setting the standard, she's putting it into orbit. This inexperienced, increasing WNBA viewership by thrice and displaying her extraordinary influence on a sport that is only starting to understand her possibilities. And the most thrilling aspect is that she has yet to achieve her zenith.
We knew Caitlin Clark was marketable, but she's been put over some pretty big names. In fact, some worldwide, huge, international names. 2 of them being Messi and Ronaldo.
Arenas had record-breaking TV ratings and getting viral on social media. Every week, Caitlin Clark goes viral, changing the terrain of women's basketball. Fans who are unaware of the WNBA was founded last year and is presently modifying their timetables to accommodate. The reason behind fever games is because each time when Clark on the court, he brings a level with enthusiasm that is difficult to ignore. She is doing more than just playing. She's giving a display, a one-woman force in terms of ratings and a boost to women's economic basketball. She is drawing admirers who, having never previously seen a women's game, she serves as a role model for Gen Z and boomers. She reminds me of Larry Bird. Equipped with a contemporary social media platform, Middle America is welcoming the presence of fever. Everyone, like it was the NFL, desires to join the Caitlin Clark phenomenon, with the exception of some bitter veterans who are unable to understand how they were eclipsed by a rising celebrity without even making an effort.
For Caitlin Clark, on a worldwide marketability list for athletes, to be ahead of both Messi and Ronaldo is quite impressive. Steph Curry is behind her on the list.
Although Dijon Carrington and other players spend time sending Caitlin Clark a direct message and considering her ascent, Clark is occupied building a brand worth billions of dollars. She's identifying with Wilson's athletic products and collaborating with Michael Jordan in an unique club that now only has 2. You can criticize members as much as you like, but the statistics are self-explanatory. This is only the start of her voyage. Don't only believe what I say. Watch the great Mike Breen perform. The NBA's legendary voice gave one of the greatest praise possible from bringing up Caitlin Clark. In addition to basketball royalty is more than just a view, it's canon. Clark in basketball keeps leaving her imprint on the game, and the commotion around her is only becoming more powerful.
She's doing rating-wise for the WNBA what Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Steph Curry have been doing for the NBA.
This goes beyond Caitlin Clark's. It's about her performance on the court. Effective it, Clark has changed from becoming the greatest basketball tale to a dominant force in the marketing industry. She is now ranked as the 4th most marketable athlete worldwide, not only in women's basketball or the WNBA. Yet this outstanding accomplishment on a worldwide scale puts her ahead of all other athletes leagues, and global celebrities, comprising some resentful warriors who are still unable to subtweet from the sides. Take a moment to comprehend that Clark has skipped over the entire marketing process, departments to serve as the spokespersons for the sports activity with the highest energy for women. With her in the spotlight today, the WNBA is at last going into prime time, and this, now that it's genuine, we can anticipate in the number of sponsorships increased nationwide, TV attention, and a more noticeable seat at the table for women's basketball. Then, the future is brighter than ever before. Caitlin Clark is in the forefront.
The idea of some players being jealous, yes, that probably exists. Okay. To me, yeah, jealous, sure. I mean, would you be jealous of somebody that got $28 million a shoe deal or whatever the deal is before you step foot in the pro?
Not everybody is. Recognizing Caitlin Clark's ascent to fame as she beams for the cameras and changes the companies. Some of the league's seasoned basketball players are struggling, and this isn't just for every up-and-coming artist. Clark is a superstar, has significant leverage, which has produced a stressful environment in a number of locker rooms. Take a look at this first year. A player breaks 62 when they enter the league. Recordings that draw more than 1 million. Stadia that sell out, and the number of spectators per game. She reminds me of Taylor Swift from High Tops. It ought to be a utopia for the league, although several more experienced players have reacted with eye rolls, elbows, and especially cryptic, ambiguous Instagram messages. The contrast with Clark's quick ascent and some veterans' responses draws attention to the changing dynamics of the many are left to deal with the WNBA's, the new women's basketball scene.
And what a lot of people weren't willing or were a bit reluctant to appreciate was the game on this young white sister of ours. She can ball. And oh, by the way, she was a great ambassador for the game. And by the way, she came in there and looked out for everybody else. For 22 years, they couldn't get chartered flights. That sister got there and it was done in 2 weeks. That's who Caitlin Clark is.
Caitlin Clark is that person. The WNBA has always emphasized tenacity, resilience, and unity, a league in which athletes engaged in combat devotedly to improving a sport that has frequently disregarded. Then Caitlin Clark rushed upon the scene and changed the plot. As promotion of cameras and soaring, some viewers followed her example. Although it could appear that she omitted the sentence, what they didn't understand is that she really deserves it. Location, but the stress surrounding. She doesn't limit her rise to passive, hostile tweets, which are evident on the court. Clark has been the target of certain players, with more hostility, as if intending to use force to degrade her. Make no misunderstanding that this rivalry is intimate. When players engage in chess with individuals like as Clark, they frequently have a chip on the size of a salary cap on their shoulder. Nevertheless, this escalating environment demonstrates the intricacies of Clark's influence on the competitive environment and league attitude that it has fostered within its gamers.
So long to get respect for women's basketball, and then they treat it like a junior high school girl's locker room. Junior high school girl antics on the court. Instead of playing the game, they got to be drama because they're jealous. Instead of letting their skills speak for themselves, they got to be drama because they're jealous.
What then drives the Caitlin? The solution is straightforward. What many veterans never have is what Clark has. Knowledgeable, profitable endorsements, enormous celebrity, and the limelight in society. Thing appears to be more radiant than before. Players that have played for a long time wonder, where was all this? Growing, it's a legitimate worry, yet it's important to remember that Clark isn't too. Even Charles is to fault for this discrepancy. Barkley is well known for his unvarnished opinions. Intervened, vehemently denouncing the jealousy aimed at Clark and bringing attention to the negative aspects of her accomplishments.
These ladies, and I'm a WNBA fan, They cannot have this Caitlin Clark thing up any worse if they try.
The unsettling reality is that Caitlin Clark is drawing attention to the shortcomings the league has traditionally made an effort to hide. Problems such as the insufficient pay gap, marketing, and the absence of interaction with fans that are not part of the core demographic have been ongoing difficulties. While Clark didn't cause these issues for her accomplishment, shows what may happen when someone truly stirs the. To put Clark's WNBA salary in perspective, is simply $76,500 zero, although her anticipated income from sponsorships exceed $11 million. This discrepancy in a single year isn't only about a salary, which puts Clark in beneath a glare so intense that makes the pay scale for the league seem almost like a matrix glitch. Her rising is making people face the fact that the league has delayed for too long.
She spoke out against that. She got people paid. She got better travel arrangements. She increased the ratings and the revenue, which obviously the WNBA benefited exponentially because now you got a $200 million deal. All of these things being considered, you damn right. It is appropriate that she got Athlete of the Year. She is special, and she's coming.
The financial dynamics are, in fact, changing the story. The idea of a WNBA player worth millions of dollars has went from fantasy to the first page news for this fresh group of gifted individuals to really inspire everyone in the league. The organization needs to accept the change instead of fighting it. The truth is, because this is a crucial time for us, her success is forcing the league to think larger, adapt, and change. But if veterans hold on to the belief that her, rather than taking into account what is feasible, they now run the risk of falling behind. As the game changes around them, they embrace this. Change is necessary for ongoing development and pertinence within the athletic realm.
A little girl wants to grow up and play in a league where you're targeted like that. How do you sit here and profess and demand that everyone take women's sports seriously when you can't even take it seriously enough to not act like a junior high queen on the court? It's stupid. That's so dumb. It looks like a soap